Should be a good week. It'll be fun regardless, that's for sure. It'll be fun regardless. What's up, YouTube? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Good morning. New YouTube setup. I want to give you all spot gamma and bookmap and a little bit better view of the charts. So there you go. Market is now open. Now open. What's up, Dan? Good morning. I got to get the VP up. Let's see. Let's let that baby load. We have liquidity on bookmap up to 23,325 on NASDAQ. If you're looking at the S&P, we have 6350. They had a big block at 6350 earlier. They took it off. They put it back on. Now they've got up to 6357. So let the Monday morning shenanigans play out, and then see what happens here. See what happens. 15-minute. We've got here, gold is breaking out. They never even came close to reaching our support targets to trade last week. It is now breaking out. We have a whole bunch of pivots from 34.13, 34.70 up top. Silver's doing the same thing. They're coming up. They've got a pivot up to 39.51 or so right here. RTY is underperforming the S&P as NASDAQ, which has been the same thing. But we'll look to see what happens when they come into the 2280 mark. Platinum is still inside the chop range, the rejection range where we have identified. Now it's doing a nice job of rejecting this little trend line, and I only put that up there, I'm sorry, for a little bit of pattern recognition. But if you look at platinum, this whole green block is the overall rejection zone that we noted, and it's holding it. It hasn't broken out yet. We've managed to take or to signal at least a lot of short entries off this opportunity, but the major breakdown still not coming yet. Oil is the only thing I see with a lot of potential this week in terms of the signals channel, if you're looking at the signals channel, as they continue to break down into the 65 zone. Now, after the first touch that we had on July, this green buy zone is not as aggressive as it was last week because there's been absorption coming on here. Overall, I would love to get down to the 63 mark for a hard bounce for me to get into a long entry. That to me is a more confident entry than this. I might scalp long off the 65 and I might swing long off the 63. That's what I'm looking to do. But other than that, man, I have to treat this as kind of a placeholder week. There's a lot of weird stuff. The market's going. We have J Powell talking tomorrow, which probably won't bring that much volatility unless he says something different, which he won't. But there you go. I had someone reach out to me learning to trade a couple weeks ago and asked me for advice. I told him read the complete guide to volume price analysis and trading in the zone. Then I sent a playlist of videos on YouTube to watch from YouTube, and I thought they were really good quality, including yours. Super. Yeah. He said he'd been watching some of your order flow volume videos and enjoying it. Send me a video. Beautiful. Thanks, Magabaguli. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I like it. Appreciate the recommendation. Let's see. Look at that. 1 minute chart so far. We have thrown up into 63.50, which is that little pivot, the imbalance that was created at 8:30 and has been pinning right here. Looking across the news, we have U.S. leading index at the top of the hour. We have the 3-month auction and the 6-month auction for bonds at 11:30, and that is it. And then, of course, we have tomorrow. At 8:30 in the morning, J Powell begins to speak. Decking the halls. I am decking the halls, baby. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I got the email today from TakeProfitTrader that my Pro Plus account is in the process of being activated, so it could take up to 4 days. I'll let you know how that process goes. I'm going to be doing a bit of a challenge, I guess you could call it, for lack of a better word, although I hate using that word. What I intend to do with this live account is to show you all the process of realistic money being drawn out daily. because I think the huge benefit of TakeProfitTrader is the fact you can daily payouts. But what I intend to do is not touch the balance that's already in there, and instead try to see if I could take out $200 to $400 a day every single day, average. Of course, not actually doing it, but averaging it. Of course, some days losing, some days good. And to show you all that realistic, consistent profit is the way to go. It's realistic. It can be done. And, I mean, $200 a day is $4,000 a month. If someone were to say, hey, if your boss at your job were to walk up to you and say, hey, I'm going to give you a $4,000 a month raise, would you be happy? I think everybody else in here would be happy if that happened. So why not try to go for $200 a day? 200 smackaroos a day instead of 15,000 a day and 20,000 a day and all this other nonsense. $200 a day, average, of course, is $4,000 a month. That's 48,000. That's 48 a year, baby. Let's do it. How about a raise in that isn't like 4%? Yeah, cost of living adjustment. Yeah. We have liquidity up to 63.57. That appears where they want to take the order book. We have skew up there. NASDAQ is pumperoni, man. Pumperoni with cheese. Going. We're in the first 15 minutes, so I'm not really looking to trade that much here. What advice does everyone who works in an office have to balance trading with their job? I'm a year into working. I just got told everyone hybrid is being brought back in 5 days a week. Well, assuming you don't have the ability to trade at work, you'll have to do things on your break or pre-market or post-market. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, ZJ. If you're trying to scalp all the time, 15 times a day, that may hurt you. But in my opinion, this could be a blessing in disguise. This will force you to take fewer high-quality entries because it's very possible. Even me, who I'm a big detractor for trading on your phone, I think it's a terrible thing to do for scalping. However, if you're taking fewer high-quality swing trades, or even not even swing trades, the high-quality bounce on a single-day trade, it's absolutely possible. So identify a key level. You take one trade every day or so, maybe 3 trades a week total, and then you go about your business. You pop out your phone, you're in a little bit of a meeting. Excuse me, boss, I need to mute. Boom, you get a notification, I'm in a trade, and that's it. You put your stop loss on, you go back to your job. That's all you got to do. But that does require some front-end work on Sunday nights, and in the morning when you wake up, and the night after the kids go to bed and all that stuff, of making sure you're plotting these levels. It's not easy to scalp working a 40-hour week job in an office, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. But it is very possible to swing trade and high quality trade. I pull 10% of my daily winnings automatically every day. Nice, Philip. How's Hero looking? Well, it's right there on the chart for you. I've got it now on the. I now have it on the screen for you. Let me come here. There you go. We have aggressive call buying, 694 million in calls right here, the green line, and 130 million in puts sold. So it's a positive delta environment, drastically positive, just like every day. Just like every day. I might actually do this. I hate doing this, but I might actually, if I could turn this into, I need to figure out how to turn it into white background. Yeah, I might switch it over to a white background if I can, just to make it easier to see on the screen. But if you want to scalp, you can scalp gold, silver, platinum, oil, and after hours. They move great. There you go. I'm a big believer in less is more, though. I wish I would have bought off your level. I was waiting for the past 15 minutes, but your levels are working. Monet. Yeah, they are, baby. Yeah, they are. NASDAQ is bottom, or that's not NASDAQ. That's NASDAQ. NASDAQ is freaking flying, baby. Freaking flying. They've got all this up here to 23,325 and then up to 350. This is the typical flying away here on Monday morning. This is pretty much what we've been doing every freaking day. It just goes, and goes. They've already taken out last week's highs. Off to the races. From what I've heard, the white background charts do better on YouTube's algorithm. Really? Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Speaking of algorithm, the video I just posted, it's the second highest performing video I've ever posted. So maybe people like it. We'll see. In this amount of time, at least. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Slap hands. 757 million. Massive call buying, as usual. Massive call buying. I posted a new podcast, too, if y'all didn't see it. $23,326. There's a good video. Not sure the explanation was just really... Not sure if the explanation was just really clear or that I'm finally starting to grasp the concepts. Maybe a little both, Matt. Maybe a little both. Love it. 23,320 still coming up. People recognize the value of the gabagoo. That's right. The volume video, I watched that yesterday and took notes. Nice, doctor. Yeah, that's an intro to volume video, and we're going to be talking more about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out with a beginner series. My goal is to create 10, 15, 20 videos that are anywhere between 2 to 6 minutes in length, shorter videos that are describing all of the basic foundational work. So anyone who's new, I can just kind of send them there, and then we come up into the VPA concepts, build you up into the VPA. So I can build a conceptually sound trader from the beginning. We'll see. I got a lot of stuff on the boilerplate here. We are 4 minutes away from trading time. NASDAQ is freaking flying. This is already a sheesh. 120-point move on NASDAQ, flying as they are pounding the 0DD calls. Pounding them. Coming up. Look at the call volume right here, man. Nuts. And they're selling puts. Going. I did also post the 50,000 account giveaway. So the TakeProfitTrader 50,000 account. If you want to be a part of that, the reason why I did it this way is because I didn't want to draw someone who just doesn't want to trade props and then have to go through the process of assigning it to someone else. So I just did, hey, if you want to be involved in that giveaway, go to that new channel I created, hit that little green emoji, and I will draw a name out of the hat, so to speak. And I'll give away an ad. In fact, let's do that by the end of the day. I'll make a post and say, make sure you do that by the end of the day, and I'll do a drawing early tomorrow morning on stream, and yeah, we'll get that baby rolling. NASDAQ is still going. 350. There's no more liquidity upside anymore. So I'd be willing to bet this is where they're going to have a small pullback right here at 350 because that is the only skew. Did I stop posting NASDAQ levels? No, ma'am. It's in the weekly brief channel. 23,345 still going right here. ES is coming up to last week's highs. NASDAQ is about half of a quarter percent higher than the S&P at the moment. RTY is selling off. So more fluctuating from those people right there. RTY is coming down. Somewhat flexible hours. I'm able to trade at my desk, albeit haven't had much attention to bring it home. Nice, very cool. That's right in my neck of the woods, man. I actually turned down a job last year. I have a guy that on my softball team who works from home, from Boeing, and he's like, hey, they need dudes that fly the Reaper, and you can work from home, be an analysis for them. I was like, really? How much does it pay? It was very high. It was tempting, not gonna lie, but I turned it down. The book maps on NASDAQ showing higher. Right now it is up to 350. Yep. 350. Where's the new channel? If you look, it's the 50,000 TPT account giveaway channel. It's under the stream category. 63.52. NASDAQ is still here. 2200 CVD on NASDAQ is very green. I'm going to take a look at a couple of other names here before I start to get to slinging. CL is still breaking lower here, which is what we want. What we want, both for our vehicle costs and for buying the dip, baby. Gold is freaking flying. Silver's still flying. Dow and Russell are both underperforming, so could be a little bit of a front run position here. All the small caps and emerging markets are selling off. Well, maybe not selling off, but they're not. They're certainly not green. They're down. So we'll see. Right now, we're just having an opening week blast off here. Nasdaq is just going. Pump it. What a crazy, crazy open, man. Just going straight up. Flying. I got macros, but I thought you were posting. Nope, I've never posted Nasdaq levels on the daily before. But I'll. That's something I could start in the future. 370. Blast off. 150-point move on Nasdaq straight up so far, and still going. Still going. 374. Crazy few months, man. Crazy few months. Straight up now for what, 3 months straight? Not a single material pullback. Not a single material pullback since we kicked off there on April 21st. Just absolute monster move, squeeze move. 382 still going. Nasdaq is squeezing a tremendous amount of calls. 1.2 billion in calls being purchased already in the first 20 minutes of the day. And 400 million of sold puts. They are, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like OPEC never even happened. Just going up and up and up. It's crazy stuff, man. Up and up and up. They did just smoke the last remaining liquidity on the book. There's nothing else. So, what's Apple doing amidst all this? Even Apple's climbing. The underperformer is climbing. Right here. They just put on even more liquidity at 23,400, still going. Treasury Secretary calls for a review of the entire Federal Reserve. Interesting. ES is now pinging up against last week's high levels, which happened in pre-market of Thursday's market, or Friday's market, I'm sorry. Looking forward to the new series. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So we have this 23,400. Nasdaq is bouncing again. The skew just keeps on tiptoeing higher. Look at that. I mean, right here at 294, and then what is that? 320, 330, 350, and now up to 400. I mean, it's just no stopping it. Even the order book is bringing this thing higher. Up and up and up, baby. No shorting. No shorting. The best part is everyone was screaming a stock market crash and panic selling 3 months ago. Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. I think this has exceeded, at least this fast, everyone's imagination. This is nuts. You know, it's definitely, you know, obviously everyone was at least some people were calling for a strong bullish move, which obviously they were correct. But this much, this fast is insane. Once again, yet another historic recovery. Insane stuff. How many massive recoveries is that? I mean, this looks just like the 2020 recovery. Look at that. Massive move. But we'll see if we can get something going here. At least today's action. 23,400 coming up. There's 382. Going up to 3,400. Nasdaq is straight up. Look at that. Massive, massive volume, at least for this current session. We have 1.18 billion in calls and 540 million in sold puts. ES straight up, broken through the high, and it's going. No shorting. Do not short these moves unless you have the 3 criteria. You either need to chase the long side here, which is, I don't know, you do what you got to do, or just wait for 3 criteria move. And there are 2 ways to go about doing that too. You could be a bear and wait for a 3 criteria short and short it back down, or you can wait for the 3 criteria move, let it roll over, and then buy the dip of that. It's whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to necessarily mean you're waiting for a crash. It just means you're waiting for a sound entry. Because right now it's like it's just going and going and going, baby. Like, what do you do here? We have liquidity up to 400. We have liquidity to 325. Shorting the stuff trying to guess the top has blown so many accounts. Yep. And hopefully I keep y'all from doing that crap because this thing is going. Going. 6360. RTY is still underperforming. The Dow is still underperforming. So small caps are not doing well today. NASDAQ is just going. ES is going. Silver's flying. Gold's flying. Weird to see gold flying alongside the S&P like this. What are the bond market doing? Bonds are up 1.1%. Really? Interesting. And the yields are down. Okay. 63.58. Yum. Did gold just have a top wick with volume spike in the 5-minute? Let's go take a look. Let's go to the 5. Yes, they did. So we have a high volume top wick, which is 2 of the 3 criteria on gold. Keep an eye out. To get back under, you need roughly $33.99. Let's see what happens. When you say large candle, what is that relative to? It depends. And me personally, right now, this morning, I'm kind of flipping back and forth between the 5 and 15 and 30 just to kind of get a good picture of the landscape here. But right now, I'm just, I haven't taken a trade yet. I'm just watching this thing rocket just like we do every single day, and we'll get something going here in a few minutes. I think I saw the stat, the 0D options account for more than 50%. Oh, yeah, it's like 64% right now. 64% of the options chain volume is on 0 DTEs right now, which is mostly calls. So, yeah, that's why this market is doing this, despite the fact that we have almost no volume on the daily chart, because it's all call volume. Every day it's 2, 3, 4 billion in calls, and they're just flying it. They're squeezing the market with it. It's going. Yeah, it is wild. It's a new world we live in here, man. It's nuts. What's up, Math? Good morning, buddy. So another bottom wick here, still going green. It looks like they want to go for 400. Crazy stuff, dude. Crazy stuff. Oil approaching a big demand level here. Yep. Is they still coming on down? 65.50. I have an audio alert set for this to start tracking. Just buy red candles to be profitable to market. Buy the pullbacks. That was my theme all last week. That's my theme this week. Buy the dips until the market proves you wrong. Right now, that's your best chance. This market is just go every day. It's up and up and up and up and up. It's just buy the dip. Pick the spots out where the market will retrace to. Buy the wicks, and that's all you can do. I would rather you be long trying to buy the dips in these markets than be wrong shorting the tops. Just be smart about it. I'm not saying blindly buy everything, but wait for it to pull back into a strong area. Take 1 or 2 trades a day, if not more. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to chase all this crap. Yeah, it'd be nice to get 150 points on these opening moves, but thinking day after day, it's not something I want to do. So I just wait for the pullbacks, buy the dip. That's it. I have a long from the OR set up. I'll have run out, enter again with that confirmation. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Palantir or Platinum is there. The Dow's finally starting to come along too. Russell's starting to come along. The S&P just bottomed to go higher. NASDAQ is still coming off. So we'll see if that one buys a dip. I placed my first sports bet on Robinhood this weekend at the UFC fights and won both of them. Nice. Did I miss where you put out the entry criteria? Yeah, so go to this account, this channel right here, right there, and just the green emoji. And I'm going to just draw a random name. NASDAQ is starting to bounce along with everything else. And here comes 400. Here comes 400. Do you ever trade using tick charts instead of time frame charts? I personally do not. I have members that do, but I do not. ES is breaking out even more, 63.36. NASDAQ is probably about to do the same thing to 400. Let's go. You should do it based on max current gym PRs. Heck yeah, man. I love it. I should have bought the dip off that ES level. What dip? Still going. NASDAQ is about to break out to 400 here. Watch it. 1.5. It got up to 1.6 billion in calls, 700 million in sold puts. That's crazy though. It's like, what puts are out of the sell? Look at it, still going. 1.7 billion in calls, 700 million in puts. This is probably one of the strongest bullish call flow opens I've seen in the past month. As strong as everything has been, this is the strongest open right here. 700 million in sold puts almost, and 1.7 billion in purchase calls. Just absolute monster move. Crazy. Look at this. Going, going, going. About to hit 400. About to hit 400. No shorting. No shorting until you have the 3 criteria. Period. On the 1 minute? Yeah. 1 minute dip. Platinum is up here. Everything is doing this, man, except for oil, which is what I want. I want oil to come down into my demand zone so I can harvest some profits, baby. Harvest profits. VIX coming off from 17, still churning and burning. Oh, man, what do we got? Apple, everything is going. Incredibly green market today. This is why you have a long-term account, baby. You never stop making money when the market keeps doing this. Already tripled daily goal and getting new FOMO now that exit. Nah, if you tripled your daily goal, what's there to FOMO about, dude? You killed it. So they just tapped just under 400 liquidity. Small rejection so far. Gold's trying to come down? Yeah, it is. Insane stuff, bro. Insane stuff. Waiting for the 10 o'clock move. Heck yeah, man. They are starting to put some skew back down to 300, 325. After coming up, they haven't filled the 400 yet. I'd feel a lot better if they were to fill that 400 liquidity. But we're not quite getting there yet. Not quite getting there yet. Three criteria. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This would be a good exercise in self-control. Highly recommend it, man. I want to start really harping on that. I know we talk about emotions a lot and stuff, but I'm challenging you all. We have less than 6 months left. Just let's call it 6 months, even though it's touch less. You have 6 months left in the year. I challenge you all to make the changes, to do the things that you need to do. Think about it. Most people are losers in general view of success, American success. And I mean financial. And like, you could be a great father, all that stuff. Yay, that's great. But in terms of what we're trying to do with making it, I guess you could say, quote unquote. Most people don't do what it takes to be that way. So I'm challenging you all to do the things you do need to do. I don't want to hear anymore, I'm an idiot, I didn't follow my rules. You know, I'm not taking any more trades. Haha, just kidding, I took another trade. None of that crap. So I recommend follow your rules. Write down some rules, follow them, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. 23,400 coming up right here. NASDAQ, about to make it. About to make it. Challenge accepted. Let's see it. It's going right here. What are the 3 criteria? Top wick, volume, close below a prior low. That shows that sellers have engaged. So like even right there, we had a top wick, but we did not have volume nor a close lower. So most people would want to start shorting with the second they see a top wick. Especially the fact that it's on a lower time frame. But look, we just put another high here. So we did not have volume. We did not have a close under a prior low. So all that was just a small amount of someone closing out some contracts. And now we've put in another high, and everyone who tried to short that candle is getting wrecked. So you have to wait for a top wick with volume with a higher high. Or I'm sorry, a lower low. Now we just absorbed 400. Who knows how high we're going to go? This is one of the strongest moves we've had in months at the open. After already an incredibly bullish move, we just keep on getting insanely bullish moves. It's crazy. Going up, baby. We have R3 right here. After blasting all the way up, every candle's higher than the last. Crazy stuff. Now they put on liquidity at 430. Where's it going to stop? Where's the options data? It got up to 2 billion almost, with 800 million in sold puts. This is literally the strongest positive delta I've seen on spot gamma for the open, the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Ridiculously positive deltas on the 0DT time frame. If you're looking at the hero indicator to the bottom left of the YouTube stream, you'll see the green line going straight up and now the balloon line going straight up. That means that there are selling puts and buying calls, meaning that we have incredibly positive delta. These lines represent the delta notional, and both of them are incredibly positive, which means ridiculously bullish, as bullish as you could possibly get. So I'm saying do not short this until you start to see the signs. I'm keeping you safe. Don't be an idiot that tries to short the top. You either need to long this or wait for a pullback to buy the dip, because right now, unless you start to see this green line plummet and this blue line plummet and then a top look at the 3 criteria, there is no actionable short here. It's just up and up and up and up and up. I'm still waiting for Gaz's NASDAQ won't go down video. For the tier 2 people, this has been the whole theme on the weekly briefs. You have to remain bullish until the market tells you not to. That's the only way. You have to remain bullish. Otherwise, you will get destroyed. So what does that turn into a smokeroni? The signal of the 3 criteria roll stops. Just be thankful. Well, to me, it's one of those things like where the experience comes into play. Because obviously you want to short as early as possible, but you need to wait for the signal. So what signal do you want to play off of? The 3 criteria, if we finally get it, or the options chain? To me, I always have to go off price action. Price action is king. Maybe I'm old school like that. Once I get the 3 criteria, I take the position, roll over, and then I wait for and then hopefully it's validated by the option chain. Because right now the option chain is doing a lot of freaking lifting, heavy lifting. Do you look for the 3 criteria in the 5 or 15? Well, you know, you could play it off the 5 if you want, but you have to tailor your trades off of the 5-minute chart. If you want to take the 3 criteria off the 5-minute, that's great. But if you're going to do that, you have to treat it as a 5-minute play. You can't wait for a huge drawdown because you're analyzing on the 5-minute. If you want to trade out the 15, that's cool. You're going to have more confidence behind the position, and thus you could hold it a little bit longer. So you could trade it on whatever you want. You just have to treat it as such. You can't make a 2-hour decision on a 5-minute chart. Am I into crypto? I do not. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about crypto. 400 still absorbing, straight up. It's now been 35 minutes straight of buying. We haven't even had a 10 o'clock move. Haven't even had a 10 o'clock move. What's your quick question? Yeah, ask him. There you go. The gold 15-minute chart is set up for a short. It has a top wick volume spike. All right, let's take a look. Good call. Gold. Let's go to the 15. We have a top wick. Where's the volume at? We do have a high volume top wick on the gold, but what do we not have? 3 criteria. We have 2 of the 3 criteria met. The third one would have been if we could get a close under this 33.99, that would have been a decent little trade. We could probably got down to 33.92, but still, everything is being bought up. This is a very scary market to short here. You have to wait for the signs. Make sure you are trading off of technical analysis, not your gut feeling. At least with confidence. You can take trades off your gut feeling, but they better be small. Did you see earlier I took a PCS for 63.20 and 63.15 at 2.7 was out at 1.9. That same spread is worth over 1.1 now. Basically left another $800 on the table. How do you decide when to scale out of zero trades since they can be so volatile? You know, with zeros, I don't want to... FOMO is so easy with zero DTEs because you can make a killing. I'm talking like, I've seen dudes make 8,000% on a zero DTE before. So it's nuts. So you kind of have to shut that part of your brain off. Jump in, get your money, and get out. Especially with PCSs. So when I was playing zeros on the PCS side of things, I would love to take profit at 50%. Put on the PCS, set a take profit limit order for 50% profit, and then let it trigger. And when you do that every day, man, that's the easiest money you'll make. It's very common to hit a quick 50% on those zero DTEs on those PCSs. But in order to get down to the zero, you have to be a little patient. You have to wait through the entire session, which is a little bit more risky. NASDAQ still going, coming up to 400. What's the 1 minute look like? 1 minute is still straight up. 397. What is that indicator where you read the strength of the calls and puts? That is Spot Gamma, which I am an affiliate of as well. It's fantastic. Right now it's called the Hero Tool. If you want to take a look, follow the link in the affiliates channel. Uh-oh, I just got an alert on oil. Look at that. Booyah. Coming on down. Keep an eye out. You're welcome. 23,396. I'm just curious implication, or is it only for stablecoin? There you go. All right, 65.35 on oil. That's the only one here that I'm really looking to sling down on, if I can get a little bit lower. It's all about patience, man. We talked about this yesterday at length. The signal of 3 criteria. Roll the stops and be thankful. That's right. Yeah, buddy. All right, 23,396 coming back over. We have all of this liquidity down to 23,387 here. I'm not saying chase the long side here. It's hard, but right now that's the only trade. If you want to play on NASDAQ, the only thing to do here is just long the upside and roll your stops. That's it. Because this thing is, I mean, it's a freight train. This is what it's been doing almost every day now. So I can't tell you to chase the long side, but at the same time, that's the only thing to do here. So certainly don't short. RTY is top wicking here. The Dow is coming back over. What's a stock that trades with CL? Well, you've got the you've got the ETF, the oil ETF. You have all the ETF, the oil names that are encompassed in like the XLE that may correlate with it, but there's a little bit different mechanics to it. But if you look at XLE, if you want to trade options on it, you could trade options on XLE. In fact, I used to trade options on XLE a couple years ago, and they actually paid pretty well. You just have to be patient with them because the liquidity is a little light on them. But like XLE is about to hit the support here. Oil is about to do the same, getting plunged, at which point I'm going to go long. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. The 15-minute here, we have top wick. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. NASDAQ has 23,312, 23,325. But we need the criteria. We need the criteria. Still bottom wicking, no criteria. No criteria. You're welcome, Fergalicious. You're welcome. So they are removing some liquidity. So the book map is starting to get a little bit weaker with skew down to 325, but we have no criteria. We don't even have a high volume spike yet. Now, I will say this. On the NASDAQ, if you look at the 5-minute, we do have a volume spike at the 945 candle just as we hit into the 380 block with no additional breakaway. We had a little bit of climb, but it's top wick back over. So we do have an indication that the second we hit this, we do have an indication of supply, but we don't have any close lower. So you see right here, this block could show supply because of this volume spike right here. But we don't have a close lower. So it could easily be wiped up and go higher like looks like it's about to do. So once we take out this area, that'll be invalidated. Another bottom wick to go higher. They are trapping everyone trying to short every top wick here. So 3 criteria keeps you safe, baby. What's oil doing? Give me oil. Still no touch yet. Right here, baby. Right here. Nice skull beats. NASDAQ is about to fly, 400. Once it takes out this area, we'll go to 425. If they take out the 400, 425 will be my target. I'll say that. Absolute monster move. What are the 3 criteria? Top wick with volume, close below a prior low. One of my next videos is going to be over the 3 criteria. Oil target at 65.20-ish? Yeah, ish. Oil is coming down. Bounced a little bit before, but I want that 65-ish. I want that 65-ish. I need to go watch your video from over the weekend. I appreciate your last 2 podcasts. Nice, Matt. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, go take a look. Let me know what you think. You welcome, Manzor. Happy to see we're on a similar wavelength. The Sunday charting has been fun and fulfilling works. Heck yeah, man. Sunday charting for the week has been fun. Yeah, so it's always fun, man. To me, it's like that's where the sausage is made, baby. You're getting into the charts on Sundays, you're grinding, and you're figuring things out. That's where you're refining your craft. Love it, baby. NASDAQ is going strong, baby. Going strong. Oil's getting wrecked. Love it. Not now, but you can check out my DM on Discord. Yeah, let's take a look. I don't see a message from you. Oh, there you go. I got you. All right, I'll answer that. Oil did not quite hit your level, but it did bottom with volume. It completes the 3 counterverse. Would you get anyway? Possibly, yeah. Possibly. But here's the thing, man. That you got to be careful because you start getting into the realm of chasing with that stuff. So it's certainly possible. But the thing is, for me, is less is more. You have to realize, like me personally, this is my personal sentiment. Right now, I'm on a bit of a vacation, staycation. So I am embodying less is more. And to me, it's been working very well. I've taken less than 20 trades. I've made an egregious amount of money on Top Step and TakeProfitTrader and my IBKR just by taking less is more. So it's working very well. So it's gotten to the point where I have no desire to take any trade whatsoever unless it's right at something I see that's high confidence. So if it, I'm perfectly willing to wait until oil comes down. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be Wednesday, until it touches my target, and then I'm going to long the living crap out of it. And I'm going to kick back, I'm going to sip on my water, and I'm going to have fun. Another top wick on NASDAQ, but no 3 criteria. RTY is here. Dow is here. Dow's coming off nicely. Gold is still freaking flying. Where's the safe money going? Shouldn't it flow back and forth, for example, out of ES and NASDAQ into gold or vice versa, not everything just flying? Yeah. Right now, though, the market is the safe money. The 0 DTEs are running the game right now. That's the product. The safety trade right now is 0 DTE calls because they are flying every single day. There's absolutely zero demand for the bonds right now. It's flying into Bitcoin and it's flying into 0 DT calls. Aren't bonds and stocks supposed to be inversely correlated, yet they've both been moving in unison for the past few months? Well, bonds aren't really moving. If you look at the daily chart on bonds, they're still holding. Yeah, they'll have some days where they're green alongside the stocks, but bonds are not moving. They are stuck because right now the market is only interested in launch mode. So look at the bonds. I mean, bonds have been stuck now. We're at pretty much the same price we were back in 2 years ago. 2 years, the bonds have been stuck in the 80s and 90s. We had a couple of little jerks up, but then they sold back off, and now we're just stuck. So the demand for bonds are uneasy, and it's because of this crap going on with the rates, this power struggle they've got going on in Washington. So that 33.77 long was perfect with the dang 12-point TP. There you go. Three criteria, man. 3 criteria. Hey, Gaz, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. They thought I was crazy. Nah. Heck yeah, man. Killing it. Where is SPY right now? SPY is trading at 630. We're almost there. Crazy day. 23,400. TLT's up too, yeah. Safe money's going into Bitcoin. USO is showing 2 or 3 criteria on the 15-minute. Don't have a higher candle close yet. There you go. There you go. Always hold all day long. You can hold all day long with shares. Yeah, buddy. Absolutely. NASDAQ is still bottom wicking. Boom. Look at that. Data latency spike on Bookmap, which means volatility. They just flew it up and then top wicked to 420. Was there news posting? What do we have? That looked like a possible liquidity sweep. Possible liquidity sweep. Something just posted. Crazy stuff, dude. Crazy, crazy stuff. $407, $408, $2.04 billion in calls. Now they're starting to buy back some of the puts. You see the puts went from 800 million sold down to 200 million sold. So they are buying back some puts. But the market's still flying, baby. It looks like it wants to grab this, what is this, 420 liquid? We'll see. Eagerly waiting for videos here to get a subjective understanding of the market. Nice, Chris. We're going to be rolling it out. Rolling it out. 412 going to 420. Look at this. Every single candle is higher. 3 criteria will take you to the promised land, baby. It'll take you to the promised land. Might be the most ridiculous open I've seen in the past 3 months, which is saying a lot because I've seen some insane, ridiculous opens. But it's still going. 415, here comes 420. Let's go to 440. It's beautiful freaking stuff, man. It's beautiful freaking stuff. I never added, just don't want a FOMO. That's okay. That's okay. Still going. Still going. 2.3 billion in calls. They're selling back off more puts. Made daily goal, put a stop limit. Big Alaskan HQ. I love it, buddy. I love it. Well freaking done. Now, here's the next challenge. If you've made money today, shut it down. You don't need to trade anymore. NASDAQ is just going. We have 4,000 positive CVD, which is ridiculously positive on Bookmap. I can't stress it enough, man. Can't stress it enough. Still going. Hi, am I still expecting a correction early into August? Am I expecting it? I don't know. Seasonality always suggests pressure into end of July, early August. But this market is doing stuff that I don't think anyone's ever seen. So expect is a strong word. Could it? Is it going to happen? I would not be surprised to see it. I'll say that. But I cannot even put myself in a bearish position or a bearish thought process until I see a strong correlation with the 3 criteria on the daily chart, maybe even the weekly chart. I need to see a selling climax here. What is a selling climax? Selling climax is the largest sign of distribution that the charts can give you. Now, what people fail to realize when understanding and learning VPA is that the selling climax is initiated by an incredibly strong bullish move, which sounds counterintuitive, right? Why would I look for a strong bullish move if we're in distribution? Because the selling climax thrusts the price action extremely higher and extremely aggressive to stop out all short positions and to get the bullish side of the order book FOMOing into more bullishness. They want the people starting to buy the top because what is that? That is liquidity. When you start to FOMO the top, you are now liquidity. So they thrust the price action incredibly strong, incredibly higher, and then they crash it. They top wick the living crap out of it, and you get one of these major green or major red sell-offs into the afternoon, and that is your indication of selling climax. So if I saw something like that, I'd be more likely to play it into end of July, early August. But until then, I can have thoughts about the seasonality, but right now, there is no signs of any kind of bearish seasonality. You have to stick to your guns if you're going to play that type of stuff in these moves. Nice math. Have a good day, buddy. Seems like CL's going up. Let's take a look. CL did bounce. They did bounce. That's okay, though. My time will come for CL. Don't worry. My time will come. My time will come. Remember, if you want to catch big moves that are not seen by everyone else, you have to have an edge. What is your edge? That's what you need to do. Define your edge. Right now, my edge is waiting for the 3 criteria on any time frame. It's waiting for the process of distribution, which is not here yet. So my thesis remains, because of that, my thesis remains bullish. It has to be. My system demands I remain bullish until I see the signs. My edge is OM. Love it. Love it. Looking forward to filling up the gas tank today at discount. Heck yeah. I mapped out bullish probabilities for using fib. We're about to leave the bull zone and enter euphoria. After that, what do I... Yeah. Even that Lance Bernstein dude just posted. He just now tweeted, actually. Hold on. Where was it? I don't know if the new crop of 2020 traders realize it or not, but it's not normal for the markets to spend 90% of their time in pure euphoria mode. He's like, I feel like 9 months out of the year I'm shaking my head and muttering to myself, this is so dumb. Heck yeah, man. Hey, by the way, the biggest stream attendance in a long time. Welcome. When you look for volume on the 3 criteria, does it have to be a spike above all 3 recent bars or just pretty high? I want it to be high for the current environment. That's the way I describe it. So, for example, let's take a look at NASDAQ here. I need to see a candle that's about, about like that. Of course, whatever. About like that for me to want to start to get into a short position with a top wick. Right now, we haven't had a single close lower yet. Look, higher close, higher close, higher close, higher close. I mean, it's just up and up and up with no top wick that holds, with no volume. Now, we have a small top wick. We have a slight little increase in volume there, but that's not enough for me. After this move, you have to, everything's relative. The bigger the bullish move, the more volume spike I'd like to see, because at some point the sellers are going to have to step in here. It's just we have to identify where. Right now, I'm not interested in shorting yet. Not interested. We need a book. Dude, I wish I had time to write a book. I actually have a couple of chapters written. I started to write a book back a couple years ago, and I have a couple of chapters written. I don't have time, man. Writing a book is difficult. Maybe one day I'll get it done, but I have a lot of irons in the fire. Does your 3 criteria apply to all time frames? Just say during a swing trade versus day trade. It does, yeah. You could apply the 3 criteria to any time frame. Now, I don't necessarily recommend applying it to the monthly chart because you're going to miss out on a lot of profit if you're waiting for the 3 criteria to close on the monthly candle. Had a blast this morning. Got to get a work conference call if you're still back on otherwise. Hasta mañana. Nice, Lanner. Appreciate it, buddy. Well done. So far, remain long biased until you see it. I'm telling you, you got to do it. You got to trust the process, baby. You got to trust the process. Hit that like button. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Remain long until the 3 criteria, until you see the top wick volume, lower low. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you want to short something, go short the small caps. If you have an itch to short, cool. Whatever, man. Just go find something to short. RTY. Always top wicking. The Dow. Always top wicking. What's gold doing? Even gold is flying. Now I'm new to gold, I'll admit. People who are well vested in gold, is it normal for gold to rocket alongside the S&P like this? I thought they were kind of inverse. Lately, at least. I thought gold being like this is a bit of a warning signal. Everything is just launch mode, dude. Everything on my watch list is green except for oil. That's it. Energy. Even the move index is down. The market is treating something out there as a good news indication. I feel like everything's got a mind of its own. From what I've read, it should be inverse. That's what I thought. Oil might be rolling back over. Good. How can I set up that volume indicator? I'm using IBCare with volume SMA, but it doesn't look like yours. Are you talking about this right here, the histogram, the volume profile? Are you talking about this? Whoa. What the crap was that? Interesting. I just heard a really weird noise. 2.37 billion calls, 453 million sold puts. Still straight up. Do not short. I hope I have saved you all from doing the dumb thing of shorting at some point today. Still going. We're going on an hour. Actually, we're past an hour now of straight up. Oil is still coming off. Little top wick right there. I need 65. Give me 65, baby. I want it. I want it. I want my money. I'm like J.G. Wentworth with oil, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. You saved me. I love it, Revelation. Let's do it. You saved me so far, but I'm shorting sometime this week. That's okay. But right now, man, look at that. NASDAQ is still breaking out. This is atrocious. I found my nearest dictionary and scratched that word short. I love it. I love it. I don't think I've seen a straight up open like this since the COVID days. This is pretty ridiculous. This is pretty ridiculous. But, I mean, that's what the market gives it to you, man. This is the market. This is the market we have to play. I've never seen a market like it. It's crazy. Last liquidity, they're stacking at 440. They're still lifting the ask here, man. Look at the order book. Bookmap is not just a bunch of colors and shapes. Bookmap is the order book. And right now, they are putting bids at 440. We even have an offering at 450. And they're just lifting the ask all the way up, man. It's crazy. Not a single bearish candle. So you have to remain bullish. I know it sounds crazy. You have to remain bullish until you have the top wick with volume with close. And or skew reduces on the book. Straight up, baby. Straight up. Yes. Top wick. RTY. Crazy, crazy stuff. They're putting on a little down here at 375. They took off the 440. Let's see if they can absorb something in this area at 420, 425 and make a move. I would love to see a sweep to get things going if that's going to happen. Look, ES is starting to top wick a little bit. NASDAQ is not, of course. The market looks like a melt up to me. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy stuff, bro. Crazy stuff. Look at the skew coming on down to 375. I think we finally might be near a possible rejection zone. Somewhere in this area, I bet we'll finally have the top wick. 420, 430. Look at that. It's going again. When I start to see them shift the liquidity book, that's when I know we're close. Not there yet, but we're close. Absorb 425, 430 or so, and then they'll start to have some profit taking. But only when the signs are there. Let's see. Good sir. You don't think this is a buy the dip zone? Well, I'm not saying don't buy the dip. I'm just saying I think we're nearing the point where they're going to have a retracement for profit taking. I'm not saying reversal. That's a strong word on a day like today, but profit taking. We'll see what happens. And then we'll look to buy the dip, of course. Delicious. Every 20% pullback with a quick V recovery since 1998 has gone to 20-30% over previous highs. That would be 7,500 to 8,000 on the S&P. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. What would the 3 criteria look on the long term like on the daily? Well, if that were to happen on the daily chart, that's where I'd be looking for selling climax. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It would look the same. So if you look on the daily, like right here, and Linda Raschke says, which, by the way, I saw some dude, some jabroni on Reddit calling Linda Raschke a scammer. Like, does everyone get called a scammer? It's crazy. Anyway, if Linda Raschke's a scammer, I don't know what I am. Jeez. So what she talks about, what Linda Raschke talks about, if you want to look for a change in trend to the downside, what you need to see is repeated and/or egregious afternoon green day, morning greens with afternoon reds. I don't mean a small little 5-point top tick. I mean like they pump it in the morning and they dump it in the afternoon over and over and over again. And then, of course, after that, that's when you start to say. And what that indicates is that the dealers are using higher prices to offload inventory so they could start to move the market lower. And Anna Coling talks about that, of initiating campaigns. If I want to trade options based on 15-minute time frame, what strike should I choose? I would go for a week out and trade anywhere. If a SPX, I would do 30 to 60 points out. Hold on, what are you talking about? You're talking about SPX? I would go a little further out. Every day, green mornings and down afternoons, end of day is classic bearish. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. I notice a lot of noise coming into the bookmap around 9:30 every day. I can still make out some skew, but with liquidity all over, it lowers my confidence in VPA. Yeah. When you say the shift in liquidity book, do you mean that liquidity is shifting from mostly above to mostly below? Well, when I see liquidity shift, that's my first indication that we're setting up for a retracement and profit taking. So we're not there yet. The skew is still higher to 425, but they're beginning to put on liquidity lower. And that's my first indication. If they start to really reduce all of this and pump it lower, then I'm more likely to start beginning to look for a short position. Is this thing ever going to stop going up today? Yeah, I'd probably say we're pretty close for a retracement, plus or minus a few points here. I'd say we're almost there. But you got to be patient for it. You know, the market is going to reward those who trade smart. And if you're just shorting everything, you're not going to get rewarded. You're going to do that thing where you're going to get blown out, and then right after you blow up the account, then the market's going to roll over, and you're going to blame the market for screwing you over instead of blaming yourself for not waiting for the opportune time. It's not your turn. It's the bull's turn. So I grew lettuce for the first time this year. We've been eating lettuce every day for like months. It's fantastic. I don't know why I haven't been doing this before. It's so easy too. I thought about creating a market garden next year. Look at that, 403, first rejection. Here's a trend line. What do we do? 410. Are you on every day in Discord? Yes, sir, I am. Every day. Bottom wick. See, look. Hey, what did we talk about last night on the Zoom call about Bookmap? You see what just happened there? They put on that big amount of liquidity there at 410 and instantly bottom wicked to come up to absorb that liquidity. It's the skew of liquidity, man. Right there. Which tells me again that they're entering more offering in this area. So I think we're pretty close to probably a little retraction here shortly. What's up, Harvey? Harvey Dent. ES is coming down 63.68 here. To level up takes some mental discipline to stay in the trade. It's not about profit or loss. It's right. It's not about profits. It's about process. Process. But look, they're starting to put on the skew lower. They reduced all this liquidity here, and now they've got down into, what is this, 400? So we'll see. Just got to be patient. $400, baby. 400. Coming on down. Coming on down. Did I go on mute? Am I on mute? Can you hear me? Hear me? Test, test, test. Test, test, test. They're going to try to grab 400 here. Coming on down. It's amazing. What do y'all think? You think that was a good call? First small retracement. Under 400, we'll go for 375. Yeah, buddy. The open ticker seems like a pump and dump. I don't know. I try not to watch that stuff. Gold's 3,400. Looking around, looking around, looking around. What do we got? Waiting for it to croak over? Possibly. Possibly. What's ES has got going on here? We have 2.3 billion in calls, 65 million in puts sold. ES still has a crap ton of liquidity at 63.68. 85, I'm sorry, 63.85. But until now, we're looking for that first small pullback of the day. Right here. $2.5 billion. Do y'all like the hero being up on here? I have to figure out a way to turn it onto white charts. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. $63.67. Question to go long last night. Seemed to need a good exit plan. You need an exit plan? 3 criteria, man. Go to the 15-minute and set a 3 criteria march. Now you also have profit taking, or a target profit. This area may be a good example for them to start top wicking. So if they can absorb and claim 34.12, that's when you're going to get the big win. So see if you can survive this area. It's up to you. It depends how much of a pullback you can withstand. I wish I could, Hal. Yeah, I wish I could. I'll see if there's a way I could figure out how to put my Streamlabs OBS into Discord. Maybe there's a way to do that. I'll figure something out. I'd like to do that. 23,393 coming back over. The first decent retracement on NASDAQ. Right here. Is spot gamma important to use? If you want to follow options data, then yeah, it is. 23,396. First little pullback. We have 63.65 on ES. NASDAQ has all this stuff down to 375. Right there. We have liquidity down into a 389 and then 376 right here after a crazy aggressive move. $63.66 RTY. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Oil needs to dump one more time so I could get into a position. So I'm waiting for the absorption here. What we'll see here is little red bubbles like this pop up, absorption, and then thrust lower into 389. That's what I'm looking for NASDAQ. We'll absorb that area, and you'll have a little bit. See, they're putting on more here at 375. All in this area. All in this area. But we need the red bubbles to absorb, and then you'll see that little jerk lower through this area down to 375. Watch. See it? See it? It's starting. We talked about this yesterday on stream, or on the Zoom call. Shifting lower, play down to 375. We have 15-minute top wick volume, close lower. I'm not saying necessarily go shorting like crazy here or turning bearish. I'm just saying we indicated, 15, 20 minutes ago, this is the first indication of a retracement. We'll probably get our first retracement up in this area. We've gotten it. Now where do we need to target? Now we need to target 387, possibly 375. Once they absorb this area, and target that. And then we'll see what happens. You should be able to use a virtual camera for your screen in OBS and stream it to Discord. Okay. I'll see what I can do. Appreciate that. $390. Just wait. There we go. Still coming off. What I need is a program to snip out pieces of live stream into YouTube Shorts. See, I'm terrible at this stuff. I got to get better at this stuff. Here we go. 389. Here we go. GC's moving. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Still coming off. Right through that first liquidity. Now the overall target is 375 or so. Nice and slow. Sustained move lower. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Dude, this dude really hates Michael Gayed. What's going on with this guy? Didn't even talk about him today. Have your son do it? Yeah. There are AI platforms you can automate your long form content to short form. Yeah, I need to look at that. Yeah, I need to look at that. All right, here comes 388. Let's come down to 375. $388, $375. Nice and easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If ES turns down here with the declining volume, would you consider that a soft pivot and a sign will come back through? Yeah. So if the S&P still doesn't have any kind of claiming of lower, all I'm still looking to do is a target to buy the dip. Because look at this liquidity on Bookmap, 63.85, which is 20 points higher. So even still, I'm targeting this 375 on NASDAQ and a little bit lower on ES. I'm still not saying reversal. I'm still not saying we're going to sell off. I'm looking for a temporary pullback to gather liquidity and find a place to go long to see if we can get that 63.85. But you've got to be able to read this fluctuation of liquidity. We've had our first pullback today. Now we have to look to see what we can base. CL right now is still holding. Hasn't hit my long target yet, but that's okay. These targets I looked along, these aren't necessarily day trading targets. These are just the targets that present themselves. If it turns into a day trade, cool. If it turns into a trade I can hold for days and weeks, yay, that's even better. So I'm going to wait until CL touches 65.03 or so. It's all about patience, man. Be a sniper. Carlos Hathcock had to wait for days and days in the middle of an open field, surrounded by dags, to get his target. Imagine if he would just be like, been there for 5 minutes, be like, you know what, I'm bored, and stands up and start blasting rounds in every direction. You never would have heard of the guy. For those who have heard of him. Still waiting. And y'all got quiet really quick. 63.68 right here. After that, 63.85. Nasdaq is bouncing up here too. Platinum got wrecked. Silver, gold still going high. Yeah, once we hit the targets, people go back to sleep. So that's just that post-euphoria nap. $63.50 just getting bigger in liquidity. Yeah, it's still relatively small, but they are putting on liquidity lower. Yep, right here. Another top wick on Nasdaq. $390 or so. What time is it? It is coming up on 10 my time, 11 Eastern time. $390. Oh man, still holding right here at the POC, which is interesting. The 5-minute POC shows all the volume hit up here. So if you follow, I know someone mentioned, do you follow the letter indication on volume profile? So here we have the P format, which shows that all the volume hit up here. So what does that tell you? We finally hit a little bit of supply, which kind of ties into the bookmap roll, which ties into the price action, which kind of ties into why I thought that this would be our first pullback of the day. So in the volume profile correlates it. Submitted my first request for withdrawal on TakeProfitTrader. Beautiful. It's insane how much they take out with commissions, fees. You basically need to make double to reap any. Well, it's the 80-20. That's the only drawdown of TPT is there's the 80-20 split. 80-20. Now you don't get charged any fees if it's over what, $200. If your request is over $200, it's zero fees. But once you're moving up to the Pro Plus, it goes to 90-10 like Top Step. Can you explain the 3 lines on Hero? Yep. So The white line is the combined delta of the combine of the two. The green is calls, the blue is puts, which means we are now, well, they have now, they were they were positive 800 million on puts, which means they had sold 800 million in puts, which is very bullish. But they have now bought back all of the puts and are now back into buying put territory. But they haven't sold any of the calls. They're not adding calls, but they haven't sold them either. They're still positive 2.2 billion on calls. NASDAQ just filled this liquidity here at 389. Still not really moving though. Mm-hmm. 389. Still going. You welcome, Techno. Green engulfing on the spy on the 5 minute. I bought the dip. Let's get to the upper liquidity on ES. Let's do it. One day, eventually it'll get back up there. Right now, though, we just have to see what happens. My request was about 600 to match my annual expenses for trading view data. Discord was one reset I had. Not much. Yeah, it's the 80-20. It's a little bit higher. Yeah. But there shouldn't be any more fees. It should only be the 20% split. There shouldn't be any more fees. Top Step gets the devil to whisper on my shoulder to keep trading. You got to shut him down. Got to shut him down. But there's always a trade-off too. You know, with TPT, you get to take out money every single day. So if you happen to have one great day, you can pull the money out. Whereas on other firms like Top Step, you have to wait 5 days. And that's the whole point of keeping you at the table in the casino. It's just like the casino. Their goal is to keep you there because even if you have a big win, if they keep you at the table, you're going to give it back. With Top Step and other firms with 5, 7, 8, 10 days sometimes or payout, the chances are that you're going to give it back. But with TPT, you could take it out every single day. So if you happen to have a $20,000 day, you can take it out right then and there. It's great. Only took 2 trades this month. Nice. Very cool. I have to mute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm tired of giving my profit back. I'm ready to patiently keep it. Heck yeah, man. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Coming on down. You see this cat spoofing at 380 and then 375? On down, baby. On down. Made 1/3 of every move today. UGH, GC long. Beautiful. Both had 4-5 leaning 5-5. Well, that usually is a great line. Beautiful. Well done, Kennedy. USO seen a nice bounce off 75. Just got above the 2024 level. Nice. I haven't looked at US in a while. Boom. Broke lower. Look at that. 380. Coming down to 375. All right, so 40-point rejection so far. I would say that's on the money. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. What the? Oh, man. $382 going for $375. 2026 Masters Tournament application. Unfortunately, your entry was not selected. We appreciate your participation and interest in the Masters Golf Tournament. Excellent. I need to learn to let go. Entries are a lot better. Exit plan is harder. Trailing stops, man. Trailing stops are your best friend. So what you do all the analysis on the front end. You set your trade. You develop your plan on liquidity, and you set your stops based on that, and you take your hands off. And you do not touch the trailing stop until you hit your next target of liquidity, and then you move it up. That's it. And let the trades play out. Once you start thinking about it and you involve emotions on profit and stuff and you see the money moving, it's hard to manage it, man. Spoofs are orders that come on the books but then are taken off to induce buying or selling. That's right, yep. They come on and off very quickly. And most of the time, they're very large in quantity. This case, we had a pretty hefty order come down at 380, and it was popping on and off. Still waiting. I thought spoots were illegal. There's another bookmap streamer who talks about the days before it was illegal. No, it is still illegal, but I mean, so is a massive island for pedophilia. But hey, it still happens, right? So is insider trading. It still happens. Still happens. Sorry, I thought I didn't realize that the bookmap was or the Discord stream was muted. We're good to go. 23,400. So they're not selling any calls. You see the green line here. They're not selling anything here. The put activity is still back and forth pretty stout, but the called activity is not moving. Platinum is still rejecting. RTY, Dow, silver. Hey, silver might be on the signals block soon. Right here. Gold is not there yet. Oil needs to drop a little bit more. A little bit more. Uh-oh. I think I'm getting one of those ocular migraines. Did you notice the meme before on Open? I saw someone talking about that earlier. I haven't noticed it. I don't really track that stuff. Holy crapperoni. Someone just became a millionaire. Man, just once I'd like to catch one of these plays. Wow. What do they do? That's a big old move right there, homie. Big old move. You'll have to loosen up your system. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Well, this is boring, isn't it? Look, they're putting on liquidity up higher here after touching. They removed all that lower stuff. ES has 63.85. What millionaire? Open, OPEN. That thing went nuts. It went from what, like 50 cents to $4? Oh, I hate these stupid migraine things, man. I know someone who is buying calls on Open. Whew. Wow. That's why I speak eggplant out loud now. However, I justify a TP. When I'm being mad, so that's a good reason. Set my TP for like 20-minute drive. Let's go. There you go. Pinch the fat between the thumb and the index finger as hard as you can for a minute. I can do that. then switch hands. It works. Interesting. $63.70 liquidity has gotten to be pretty slow, so they launch it the first 30 minutes. Now they pin it after a small little rejection. But other than that, man, you still have to look for 63.85. Still looking for buy the dip until otherwise stated. That's all there is to it here. This is the market. Hmm. 63.70. Hydration. I drink a lot of water though. Massage your ears. At this point, you're gonna have me massaging everything. Ears, hands. All right, what else we have here, man? I hate when they do this crap. I'm ready for some movement. What's the symbol for NASDAQ Hero? You'll have to look at NDX, November Delta X-ray. That'll be the closest thing you could feed. You could also do QQQ as well. Both of them. Did I catch that oil long? No, sir, not yet. It didn't hit my target. So, I'm waiting for the big move, baby. The big move. Less is more, man. It's been treating me very, very well the past couple of weeks. Very well. Waiting for confirmation to enter again. Yeah, buddy. All right, what do we got? NASDAQ is starting to get a little top ticky, but I don't know, man. A lot of liquidity lower, which is nice. I don't know. That might be it. We'll see. If I can get something else, we will. On my hero, I see 105 current hero. What do you mean? Is that the day? So right now, what you see here, I'm looking at the S&P. I have 2.1 billion in calls on the books, but that's where we were an hour ago. We have 35 million in puts sold, but that's down from 800 million. So they bought back some of the puts here. Now we're just kind of stagnant. In my opinion, if we start to sell off hard, I'm just not saying I'm just if that's what you want to see, this green line needs to start selling off big time. Start to sell all those calls. We need to see a top wick with volume, which We haven't really gotten yet. The 15-minute is not showing hardly any supply on NASDAQ or the S&P for that matter, and we have liquidity higher. So there's not a lot of indication for sell-off here. Maybe this is a late day thing. Until then, I still have to recommend buying the dip until it breaks it. There's no signs of bearishness here. There's no signs of massive supply yet. You have to trust the volume. You need to see supply show up in the form of volume, because supply is not some taboo paranormal area that just rejects just because the candles need to show a top wick. Supply is actually a transacted block of orders from sell side or buy side offering to the sellers. And then this volume spikes. We have a top wick. There's your supply. Right here. Open is an AI house flipper. Interesting. Need to wake up early again or change the thinking. My short setup is not giving a lot of results. Well, until you have the volume spike, there's not a lot of short activity. We had our first little retracement there, which was short but actionable. Until then, it's just buy the dip. Buy the dip. Is there still liquidity higher on Bookmap? Yes, there is, both on NASDAQ and ES. ES has this big cat up here, 63.85. Need to go step away for a breakfast burrito? That's a great reason to step away. LinkedIn is now processing 11,000 job application submissions per minute, a 45% surge from last year. Yeah. Yeah. I read an article that said that with the drastic contraction of national food producers, obviously they're taking a hit with the labor force being no longer there, that local produce and local farmers are having a massive influx of activity, which in my opinion is fantastic. I think we should support our local communities. Why can't I see Hero Screen? Right now it's only on YouTube. I have to figure out a way to get it on the Discord. Come on, baby. 63.85. What do we got? Come buy our eggs. I buy fruit and veggies in season. Heck yeah, man. Buy all meat and local dairy. My goal next year is to triple the size of my garden and eat 95% exclusive of what I grow here. And then, of course, we're going to go buy a cow, a local cow. So we're going to eat all of our 95% of our food next year for the entire year is going to be what I grow and what I eat off that cow. That's our goal, at least. Definitely want to start my own and teach the kids. Do it, baby. Gardening is a lot of fun. No pig or ducks. Ducks, yeah. I'm not really big into pig, man. I guess in a survival situation, absolutely, but we don't eat a lot of pork. It's too fatty. We had a couple of Thai peppers from our garden. It was wonderfully painful. Oh yeah, those are delicious. Farm fresh, pasture-raised chickens produce eggs that reduce inflammation. Yep. In fact, that's what I'm doing this week is finally build my chicken coop. They're plows on legs. Yeah. How many steaks could you get off one cow? A lot. You can net anywhere between 5 to 800 pounds of meat, depending on the size of the cow. I do think that local farmers need to get more competitive on pricing. It costs more to produce. Oh yeah. So we have this local farm stand that we go to. It's in the middle of town. It's like all organic and farm pasture raised. Their chicken breasts are $15.99 a pound, just for basic farm raised chicken breast. Nobody buys them. And I'm talking to the guy like, dude, these are the same chicken breasts that were here 2 weeks ago because no one's buying $15.99 a pound chicken breast. He was like, well, that's what I have to charge in order to break even. I was like, that's a bunch of bull crap. If you have to charge $16 for a chicken breast, then you're doing something wrong. How many cows do I have? Right now I have no cows. I do intend to get 2 cows, and then every year I'm going to add 1 cow and harvest one every other year, because you have to harvest every 2 years. Going on stew with my boys every year. Between that and the deer meat, I'm set. Keep an eye. Heck yeah, man. I told the kids that we're going to blast like 3 or 4 deer this year. Fill the freezers. Deer meat's the worst meat ever? I don't think so. Wild boar. Oh yeah, it's super tough. My neighbor had some wild boar that he smoked up one day, and it was like rubber. Never had moose. I've always wanted to have moose. Goose is fantastic. Very succulent. Do I hunt? Yes, I do. I don't hunt for trophies though, so I'm not one of those hunters that cares about antlers and trophies and stuff. I can care less about that. I hunt for the meat. Buy the whole chicken at the farmer's market, break that down. Heck yeah, man. So what I've been doing recently is I've been going to Aldi's and they have vacuum packed entire chickens. So I'll buy like 4 of them, smoke them all on Sundays. It's the best chicken I'll ever have, and I eat off of them the whole week. It's like $11 for 9-pound chicken, and you smoke them. They're fantastic. Who says eating healthy's got to be expensive? All right, we're coming up here. 63.73 new high. We're going to 63.85, baby. $63.75. Goose fajitas? I've never had that. I'm being late. I used to take up to 7 deer in Alaska back in the 80s. Oh, that's cool. Can you say again where the upper liquidity is on ES and where the equivalent SPY? The upper liquidity is 63.85, which is 13 points higher, which is about a point and a half higher on S&P. So roughly 633 on the SPY. Roughly. Quick math. Has anyone ever watched Yellowstone? I watched the first season or 2, but yeah, it's pretty good. Duck vagitis. Love it. 63.72. Now look what's going to happen here. What do you think's going to happen with this price action right here? Look at this setup. Who thinks? What do you think's going to happen? Think about the liquidity grabs. Think about setting the hook. Fishermen setting the hook for those big, juicy, largemouth bass, or putting out some decoys for some duck or goose. Nope. Look at the liquidity. 63.75 up to 63.85. We've already had one rejection at 63.72. They know we know that we see this top wick. So what are they going to do? They're going to blast it to 63.85 and stop everyone out who's trying to short this move, because everyone's like, oh, it dropped here last time, I'm going to short it again. They're going to try to put on a short, and then they're going to cram it to 63.85. All the liquidity is higher. Higher. LFG candle, that's right. So they're going to absorb to 63.75. Watch it. And they're going to come up here. I can't say they're going to make the move to 63.85 now, but I think they'll climb through this 75 area because everyone's trying to short this area. Has anyone else ever ate jabroni? I don't know. I don't know what that is. They know we know. They know we know. They know we know. Absolutely. Liquidity sweep upwards, then fall back down. Most likely. Yeah. Is that code for your course in the membership? Negative. That is for a prop firm. TakeProfitTrader. It's the one I'm trading right now. And I'm actually now a live trader on it. So I highly recommend it. Daily payouts. Do it. If you're going to do a prop firm, I recommend that one. Overall. See? Already going. Already going. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now can we get 75? God, man, my price action reading the past 2 weeks has been phenomenal. If I could pat myself on the back. It's all about conceptual understanding of the book, man. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to do? They're leading the cows to the slaughterhouse, baby. Leading the cows to the slaughterhouse. Fantastic. Now if I could only see. Look, they're putting on more liquidity higher into 76. Nice math. Well done, buddy. So what process do you use to figure out the SR levels above all-time highs? It's difficult. The only thing you've got at your disposal is forward-looking data, which is the only thing you have at your disposal is forward-looking data, which is options flow in the order book. That's it. So, and it's unfortunately lower confidence, but that's all you got. That's all you got. 63.74. Let's go for 75. Sorry, TechnoPig. See, everyone tried to short the 63.72 rejection, but we have the order book at our disposal, which is Bookmap in this case. All the liquidity was skewed to 75 to 85. We've now creeped higher. We're only up about 2 points. That's fine. Now, can we get 85? Now what you want to do is if they use a 72 as support. So if you look at this line right here, if they use this as support in terms of an SR flip, that's your indication that we're going to 85. So obviously things are moving quite slow here. Meh, whatever. But we need to see what we can do. Man, I can't see nothing. It's all kaleidoscope. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. We are past the normal time that Anne's streaming here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. Plus, I can't even see, so might be a good idea. Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? If you haven't already, head over to the YouTube channel and watch the latest video. It's a great video, if I do say so myself. Of course, we have the newest podcast on Spotify, the Making Millionaires podcast. Yeah, buddy. It's go time. $72. Waiting for my one trade this week. Come on, gold. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Migraine? Yeah, I've got one of those ocular migraines. How did they do the 1099s of prop firms? TPT once a month or end of the year? End of the year. Well, I haven't got one from TPT yet, so I would assume it's end of the year just like Top Step. Top Step sends it end of the year. Need some electrolytes. Yeah. Sucks, man. I've never had migraines in my life before, but back in 2000 and when was that? 2012? I ripped my bicep tendon. I ruptured it completely. And after surgery, they gave me some sort of pain. I forget it's hydrocodone. Oh, no, it wasn't a hydrocodone. It was one of those painkillers. I forget, Percocets. It was Percocets. And I took like 2 of them, 2 days in a row. So I took them for 2 days. And that's the first time I'd ever taken that crap. And when I stopped taking them, which was only for 2 days, I started getting migraines. And I've never had migraines before. And literally that week I stopped taking, I started getting migraines. And it took me 4 years. And I would be getting migraines all the time before I finally stopped getting them. And now I get these stupid ocular migraines. Rip my bicep too doing Atlas stones. Oh yeah. Taking what? Percocet. They gave me Percocets. And that caused migraines for 4 years after that stupid surgery. So I don't take that crap anymore. If a doctor asks me if I want painkillers, no, I don't take any of that. Do I really take 10 milligrams of creatine a day? I do, yeah. I do. What's the Spotify podcast name? Making Millionaires. I'll send you a link to it in the YouTube channel. There you go. Little TRT, heck yeah, baby. Did you notice it? Did you used to take 5 milligrams and notice a difference? I used to always take 5, but I upped it to 10 after recent studies have shown that it actually improves brain function. So have I noticed a difference? I can't say that I have, honestly. When I got my wisdom teeth taken out, they gave me a hydrocodone and I hated it. I tried cold turkey off of it. About a week later, I had the worst withdrawals of my life. Yeah, that stuff is literally like freaking heroin and stuff. So no thanks. I'm good. One of my biggest fears is ripping my bicep when doing curls. Yeah, I did bicep curls. How it happened, I was doing muscle ups. The day before, I was doing muscle ups, a lot of them, in a CrossFit gym. And the next day was bicep day, so I went to do curls on a preacher curl machine, and it was only with a 30-pound dumbbell. And I came down on a full extension on the preacher curl, and when I did that, I heard this loud rip, and all of a sudden my arm stopped working. And I looked down, and my bicep was rolled up under my shoulder. It ripped at the elbow, and it rolled up like a fruit roll-up underneath my shoulder. That's how far. So my bicep was completely flat, like as if it was just bone. And I was a pretty big dude back then. So the doctor had to go repair it. That was fun. Good stuff. That was the last time I ever done Preacher Girls. All right, well, we're not moving. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Withdrawal from SSRIs is horrific, especially cold turkey. Yeah. No bueno, man. There are studies showing elderly people taking 20 milligrams of creatine helping with symptoms related to Alzheimer's. Really? That's pretty cool. Nice, Mojo. Appreciate it, buddy. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. About any questions of what we saw, what we analyzed, how we read the order book. But this is the market, man. You can't fight it. So until then, I will see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning for another beautiful day and good rest of the week. So y'all be safe. Don't overtrade. Take a break. Get out and have some fun. I'm out. See you.